What's going on, everybody? So I'm at the trailhead up toward the winter base camp, and literally this is 2 days after I filmed the last video. We're in a winter wonderland now, so this will be episode 1 of the winter base camp, and now it's a race against the snow. Huffing and puffing. It's beautiful out. There's a few things on me that I'm glad I brought. One was I'm wearing the Gore-Tex liner to my winter pants. Not the insulation, but just the Gore-Tex. A little added barrier is perfect. I'm a little overdressed on top. I'm gonna have to start opening up. Like I said, once I get used to this temperature's t-shirt weather, no joke. I've been exposed to and I'm acclimated to the cold very well. I did some time working up in northern North Dakota where I've seen wind chills at negative 70 degrees. I've got pictures with my ice mustache and my hard hat on working in the oil fields. So I'm good in the cold, but your body has to acclimate a little. So a few trips out and I'll be banging around. Another thing I'm glad I brought is the snowshoes. I almost didn't bring those, and a heavy winter boot. Now that I'm up in here, there's about a foot of snow. It's a light powder. I mean, the snowshoes aren't keeping me from, going to the bottom, but I'm not inundated with it all on my pant legs, and I'm breaking trail. Getting in shape quick. It's absolutely beautiful though. And we are going to get into the 40s again at the end of the week or the weekend, and we'll get a melt off, but some of this snow is here to stay. And I got to get up there and start getting the shelter going. Today's goal is to get the roof on. I've got one tarp on me. I thought about it after that I may need 2. But we'll at least get the frame up for the roof, some cross beams for support, and get one of the tarps up, prevent a lot of snow building up inside where the inside of the shelter is going to be. We'll get pushing. I'm kind of going in, I don't know, 200-300 yard chunks, and then I take a 30-second standstill. So beautiful. All right, I made it to the spot, and I was setting up the GoPro so I can get some hands-free video going, and I turned it on and it said no SD card. I just edited the last video 2 days ago, so the SD card is still in the laptop. So everything's going to be off the phone. I'll have to figure that out so I can get some of the bigger pictures as I put up this frame. But what I can tell you is that I am sweating. That last uphill push was a beast. In this type of temperature, especially if it was getting late, it was an emergency, a survival situation. This moisture that is inside of my clothing right now is very bad news. I'm not planning on staying here. I'm gonna stay active. I'm out of here before it gets dark, but even then you never know what's gonna happen. So what I gotta do now is start to strip off these layers. So what I have is a windproof, waterproof layer, and I can actually feel the moisture inside of here. It's supposed to be breathable, just like a Gore-Tex, but all this moisture is trapped inside of this windbreak layer, and that's really bad. So this has to come off and get hung inside out to dry. So that'll get hung. And now I have an Army issue fleece, great insulation, a hoodie, and I've got this neck gaiter. Now initially I'm going to experience some cold. I'm sweating and I'm taking off all my clothes and it's cold out. But this initial blast of cold as I dry off is nothing compared to if I keep all this moisture in and I get stagnant, I break an ankle, I get stranded, if it's a survival thing and I got to spend the night. Any of this moisture in me is really bad news. You're just asking for hypothermia. So for me, taking a little bit of a brisk exposure now to get all this sweat, condensation and crap out of my clothes is beneficial. And I'm not gonna, a little bit of exposure. It's not super cold out. If it was negative 20 degrees out, I wouldn't want to be doing this unless I was in my shelter. So I would get some kind of shelter up if I didn't have one yet, and then get all my clothes off and begin to dry. One benefit is that my layer against my skin here is this Under Armour heat gear. It's for wintertime, it's for cold weather, and it's just a base layer. This dries super fast. Like literally I could do this for a little bit exposed. It'll dry right out. I can start relayering. So we're gonna get unlayered. We're gonna try to figure out how to set up the cell phone, because my GoPro is great for those, work site pictures. I can clamp the GoPro wherever. It's got a wider field of view, so hopefully we'll get some good footage. All right, well, I'm a little bummed out. I tried setting the phone up. I'll have to pick up one. I mean, the phone takes great videos, especially if I turn this around so it's not viewing me. High quality, but I don't have a stand for the phone, so I was propping it up here and there and on some pine, like trying to look down on what I was doing, and it's just not going to work. So I'm a little disappointed in that. So what I'm gonna have to do is kind of do a little, show what I did, do a little, show what I did. I'm just planning on doing a square frame with some rafters and put the tarp on. That's it that I'm trying to. Oh man, it's frozen to my beard. I'm not trying to do anything more than that for today. So what I'll do is I'll kind of stop in and do little progress reports. Stinks for the video, but I don't want to waste the film I've already got and the opportunity to get some content on. So first thing I'm going to do is take my snow shovel, and I'm going to get a lot of this snow out of here so I can get my snowshoes off. They worked great. They're not really expensive brands, and I got a super deal. I got them. They were brand new, not even a scratch on the bottom, at a pawn shop. And with some finagling, I got them down to 20 bucks. So the bindings held up. They're great. I like this 1-cinch pull tighten, 1-cinch pull loosen. So they're like glove friendly. Anyway, I'm blabbing. I'm going to shovel some snow, get some stuff cleared out. We got the pack hanging there, the jacket inside out. I might have to switch up my idea on what I'm going to do for my winter layers, because that held in way too much moisture. I mean, it was slick on the outside. It's still wet, and it's actually freezing. So I started clearing the snow. I still got this chunk here. I think I'm going to build some kind of stairs coming down in. So I got to where the couple of rocks I had from the fire from 2 days ago, they're here. And I realized that my ability to resource stones has become very limited very quickly. Just like getting all the way down in there for some of the bigger deadfall. That's not as easy as it was 2 days ago. I've got a lot of material here to work with. I'm not too concerned about building material. Some good dead standings. And take that whole pole. But getting stone is not going to be easy. Those three weren't real easy to find. It's almost like feast or famine in here when it comes to stones. You either can't find anything and they're all these big guys, or they're all over the place. So what I'm doing is I'm digging into the ground here to start my pit. And we'll use what stones we have sparingly. This tree going across kind of on a diagonal to the tree where my snowshoes are leaning, there's going to be a pole there, which puts this pit kind of outside of a corner of the actual roof. And my intentions were to build, some kind of chimney out. So we'll have to see what I can get, and we'll do the best we can with that. So I'm going to get a small fire going. I won't be able to show it because I'm a dummy and didn't bring the SD for my GoPro. And just a little comfort and aesthetics, a little fire in the pit there. And we'll keep digging out the snow, and then we're going to source some of these larger poles and get a frame up. So we'll talk to you in a bit. I'm spending more time cutting firewood than getting the structure up. I've got one beam I've got another one cut that'll take care of 2 more sides. I'm going to put those up now. Just taking a breather. I've had the fire get put out. I took a small dead standing out of that clump, and a huge plume of snow, like that one there, dropped directly into the fire pit. I mean, the coals were good. I just kind of had to stoke it, but big old ploof of steam for a while. Woo. Getting some exercise today. Like I said, I've been cutting firewood and not concentrating on the structure. I'm probably going to be out for about another hour or 2. And we'll have the tarp up. So we'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so now I have an idea of the rudimentary shape. It is going to take more than 1 tarp. If this was kind of an emergency right now shelter, I would have made it a lot smaller, because the less space you have in here, the less space you have to heat. This being semi-permanent, I wanted to be able to stand. This back wall is going to come down on an angle. My bed's going to work off this tree. So it's starting to come together in my head. Some of these look pretty thin to be structural, but this is actually a whoa. That's been happening to me all day. Got like a hood full of snow. Anyway, this is actually green pole. It's sturdier than it looks, and it's very flexible, and it's going to be supported in more way than one. That's going to get all lashed together there. We're going to reinforce that lashing. It's all just kind of getting an idea of the shape, getting a structure up. This pole here is actually on the ground between these rocks. Comes off that tree, comes across to the end of these rocks. And then when you come down here, I'll go up to the top and walk in. You'll be entering from here. That'll be the roof, and then there's going to be a steep slanted wall on that side. I got an idea of how to close up the fire pit now. But you'll come down here, and this will be wall until you get to about here. And this will be your entrance. It's kind of hard to see. Next time I'm up, I'll definitely have the GoPro, and I'll be able to get way better views of the construction, and we'll be able to do some high speeds and some montages. But for now, I can tell I need some calories, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to cook or just push through and head out. But for now, I'm going to put a couple of ribs from this pole to this pole, and we'll get the 1 tarp on that I have. We'll at least get the one up. We'll have to bring the other one up next time we come. And we got a lot of lumber to cut for that back wall. It's going to be solid there. Most of this wall is going to be solid up to the doorway. And then I've got an idea of how to close in my fire area with the lack of stone. All right, we're going to keep pushing. I'm having a blast. I am definitely out of shape, like I keep saying. I'm just going to kind of let this fire just kind of chill. It's kicking some serious heat, so if I get this closed in, I think we're going to be able to heat the shelter pretty good. The only thing I'm concerned about is smoke. Out here, there's nothing but pine to burn, and it's just harsh smoke. And I'm saving all of the pine from the green trees that I did take. I like to use dead trees just because half this forest is dead. But when I do take a live tree, I use every little bit of it. All that pine will get used. Insulation, bedding, stuffing holes, etc. So nothing will go to waste. All right, back to work. All right, there's a couple of the ribs. Now, the top isn't a perfect square, so my bottoms are a little bit closer together than my tops to kind of fan it like this. And this is, again, just rudimentary skeleton work. any kind of reinforcements, structural, rigidity and all that stuff's going to be added in. I'm just getting a general idea of the space I have to work with here. Keeping all this pine. So we're going to get the tarp laid on, see where it comes to starting from that end, so I know where to put a rib. And then we're going to have a second tarp, because I'm going to have to run this the long way this way instead of the long way this way. And my tarp's a rectangle. So we'll get that up on there. We'll see what that looks like. I'm actually burning more daylight than I wanted to. I had a couple things I needed to do this afternoon that may not happen if I don't get out of here in time. So we're going to get the tarp on, and I'll get back with you and we'll see what that looks like. And yeah, I'm happy with it. A lot of the ideas I have in my head and all that, you all see when it gets to that point, but it's going to be pretty cool. I can stand under this. And I've got one wall built for me. All right, we'll get back to you in a second here. So I knew that what I built was not square, and tarps are square. So what I ended up doing is that was a 90 degree at that corner. So I ran the tarp along that run, and what I ended up with was this odd cutout shape here and here, two triangles. I can see where I need more ridge poles. This extra material will just get put into the wall that's there. Same thing will happen when I bring the second tarp up. Whatever's left hanging off the sides will just get incorporated into the walls. So it looks pretty funky. What's going to happen is the next tarp is going to run square on this pole, and what it'll do is it'll make up the rest of that shape. So it'll all be completely covered. And there'll be some natural debris. I mean, I'm debating if I'm going to do natural debris. I am going to do some ribs perpendicular to these ones for a little more support for the snow weight. But I have an idea. I mean, I could have went flush with this one, and then I ended up with a gap up there. We'll see what I got to do when I bring the other tarp up. If I get that other tarp up and I'm still missing a little corner, then we'll turn this one this way and run the tarp a different direction. Either way, with both tarps, it'll be completely covered. So now I have an idea of what I'm working with here. Ooh, and I'm getting ready to pack it up. And I apologize for not having the GoPro. Would have been some better footage next time, I guess, right? All right, we're gonna call it. Oh man, I got like frozen beard stuff. Cool. So we're gonna call it. I'm gonna pack it up. Fire just kicked down, still kicking some heat. It'll be nice when this is enclosed. I think we're gonna have a good time in here. I'm excited. A little funky with the layout, but the end result is going to work. So I'm confident in that. Just got to get the other tarp up here. It's actually in the car. I could have brought it, but I'm done for the day. I'm gonna just make it out of here with some light. It's beautiful. Look at this, man. It's just beautiful out. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Kind of an all over the place video. I'm good for those. Not very instructional. Just talking. The next time when I set up the GoPro, we'll be able to do, distance shots and wide angles, and I'll be able to get some cool footage of actual construction happening, and chopping trees and cutting firewood and the stuff that I really like to do on film. So hang in there. This is only part one of probably way too many parts. So thanks for watching. God bless. Again, if you haven't checked it out, there's the Facebook group under the same title, Outdoor Life with Nick Laws on Facebook. So tune into that. And if this is something you like, if you want to check out some of my other videos, hit the like button, maybe subscribe. That would be cool too. And I'm excited. I love winter camping. Like, I didn't come out all summer. I'd much rather be out here in the snow, cutting firewood and trudging around, and I don't know what it is, but that's what I like. All right, I'm blabbing again. Hungry. Thank you. God bless. Hopefully we'll get this up tonight, and we'll see you in a bit. Bye.